Not another phone call. You stand up, rip off your gloves, lower your mask, and head for your office again. You take 2 steps into the hall when your hygienist snakes up your right. Hey, doctor, how am I going to be paid for attending the Hinman in March? March is 2 months off. You know, Ann, let's set up a time in a couple of weeks to talk about that, okay? You take a couple more steps and your assistant snakes up on your left side. Hey, doctor, that dental chair is not working in that treatment room again. We're going to have to move Miss Smith to the other room. Doctor, when are we going to get a new dental chair in there? It's driving us all crazy, and we're running behind schedule. As soon as I can get the money, Jen, as soon as I can get the money. You take a couple more steps, and your other hygienist snakes right in front of you. She has her cell phone in one hand and a donut in the other hand, and she looks you in the eye, and she says, "I'm waiting, doctor. Let me get this phone call, and I'll be right there, okay? I'll be right there." You take a couple more steps, and you think, her patient is sitting by themselves in the treatment room, and she's back here texting and eating a donut. I swear she doesn't get it. She just doesn't get it. I don't know what I'm going to do with her. Finally, you sit down at your desk, and you think to yourself, I have taken less than 10 steps, and I have 3 big, hairy monsters on my back. And guess what I get to do now? I get to talk to my accountant. Let's just go ahead and say it. I have 4 big, hairy monsters on my back. You know what? I have had it. I have had it with hairy monsters. I have had it with worries up to here. I need more wins in this business. I'm telling you, I need more wins, wins, wins. Well, that's exactly what I'm here to talk about, how to get more wins for your dental practice. Today, I want to introduce you to a different type of team structure. It's called a self-managed team, and it's been around since the 1960s. Businesses all over the world have used self-managed team, and the results in these last 50 years have been unbelievable as compared to your traditional team structure. 1, it is showing 30 to 50% higher production. 2, it is showing lower employee turnover and absenteeism. 3, it is reducing hairy monsters on the dentist and owners' backs and reducing responsibilities. 4, it is showing a significant increase in the level of customer service. And 5, it is creating a different type of employee, an employee that gets the entire picture. They get it. They understand how everything they do all day long contributes or doesn't contribute to the success of the practice. But there is another thing that self-managed teams do for dentistry that I think is very important. Dentistry is an interesting business in the fact that the owner, the boss, and the leader is also the primary producer. If the owner, boss, and the leader is not doing dentistry, guess what? The business is not making money. So the owner, the boss, the leader has to be spending at least 95% of their time all day long at work in the mouth of a patient doing dentistry. Now, we all know that it's impossible to make high-level executive decisions when you're working on a human in a dark, slippery hole. You can't do it. You just can't do it. And so what happens, it creates this very interesting conundrum because all the employees are doing their roles and doing their duties, working with patients, and little fires come up, and questions come up, and issues come up, and they need to get to the decision maker. They need input. But that person, that boss, and that leader is being a dentist right now. They can't text them. They can't email them. They can't even talk to them. So what they do is they start stalking the dentist. They watch for that second that the dentist looks like he's not doing dentistry. It can be just as simple as stepping in the hall. And all of a sudden, phing, 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 the snakes come out. And the questions start getting fired on there. And it creates this level of frustration, not just for the dentist, but also for the team members, because they're trying to serve the patients. So hence, the practice starts living the story I told at the beginning, and hour after hour, day after day, year after year, it starts damaging the practice. Mistakes start happening. Things start falling through the cracks. Patients start leaving, and the dentist starts feeling that singe of professional burnout. All of those things are very dangerous to the success of a dental practice. A self-managed team, because of the way that the employees are trained, they have information for the whole picture. They are trained to be a leader. They are given permission to be a leader. They are empowered to take over more responsibilities and make higher level decisions, reducing all this frustration. Now, I've been in dentistry almost 40 years. And I have an M.B.A. So I am very sensitive to how business structure affects success. In our own practice, my husband's practice, I worked 15 years with the traditional snake-in team structure. And then the last 15 years, we got a little smarter. And we did the self-managed team. And the difference is remarkable. The best way for me to describe it, it's like the difference between babysitting for a child for a night or raising your own child. Now, in this 21st century economic environment of fierce competition, dentists are having to work harder than they've ever had to work to stand out of the crowd, to get new patients, to compete. Moving from your traditional team structure to a self-managed team structure can often make the difference between a practice simply surviving until the 90-year-old dentist drops dead on the patient or thriving to the dentist at age 60 being financially independent. It can make the difference between a practice becoming a dying dinosaur, totally unmarketable, or a fast-growing, awe-inspiring ginkgo tree. It is an evidence-based way to get more wins. So let's put our heads together, learn about self-managed team, and let's triple your wins. Let's get more wins for your employees, more wins for your patients, and more wins for your business.